So you get lower level people with one set of skills, and then you start building steps on top of that. Of more experience, more experience, more experience in order to get the ultimate experience that you're looking for. So unfortunately, maybe it's not one person, but we start to take a look at how we can pay these people is also very important too. Compensation is a big piece of it, but not as important as changing our hiring practices and where we go to go get the talent that we're looking for to build these solutions. Ultimately though, we have to teach it. And that's part of our role also. If we stand to compete at a higher level here in this technology, we're going to have to teach it.
Where do we start teaching it? Is it kindergarten, elementary school? What do we do? What's the triage? You know, because it used to be for decades, you know, I am not good at math. You know, I'm going to take some other path in life, right? So where are these things that we're not forcing people to do things they don't want, right? But at the same time, making it so attractive that those who are willing to try, they will be successful and they will be rewarded in the end.
Look, there's no doubt. And we often think of diversity when talking about skill sets, and what diversity that we're willing to accept often is the discussion. However, it's not about that. It's not about what we're willing to accept. It's where we're willing to look outside of where we usually look to hire the people that are wanting, that are willing, that are excited, that want to wake up in the morning and say, this is what I want to go do. They do exist. These people are there. It doesn't mean that they don't have to be taught, but we can appoint as many chief learning officers in major corporations as we want. But they're not doing the teaching. They're not teaching big data skills. They're not teaching machine learning skills. They're not teaching cybersecurity skills. By the way, just take those three alone and they make up the top 4 of the skill sets gap that we have. So we are going to, again, change hiring practices. We're going to have to be willing to look beyond our borders. And maybe we're willing to look a little bit differently. Maybe it's not always about the education level. And maybe we have to start looking at pools of people that don't have a college education. We have to start looking at groups of people that we wouldn't normally think were tech savvy. But why are we painting people with this brush anyway? We shouldn't. We should be willing to say, you know what? We are in such shortage of the skills that we want that we really can't pass anybody over, nor should we. We should take a hard look at just about everyone to make sure that we're getting the skills that we're looking for. But, you know, you make an interesting point about learning. The real failure, if you look at the source of this, is that industry is not advising universities and academia on the skills that they really need to have. Mm-hmm. And academia is a 2-year-long curriculum, either way you cut it. So it's not like you can go out and change the curriculum immediately either. So there are all sorts of challenges, but we need to come together on these challenges and start teaching this stuff. And we need to communicate better. And that's going to come from people saying, hey, I built this solution around this business problem, and this is how I did it. But that's not so easy, is it? That in of itself is pretty hard.
It's not easy. And to be on the optimistic side, you know, if any country can do it, it's this country. And the reason for that, I was this young graduate when I arrived in 1992, late December, okay, with college degree, but no profession, no skills on the job market, all right?
Sure.
The point is that even back in the 90s, all right, they gave me the job because I am not that, that bad to adjusting, okay, and seeing where the opportunity is in the marketplace. So from my physics degrees, I was able to pick up some SQL, Oracle development skills quickly without even going to school here, okay? But I have to applaud and thank so much Oxford Health Plans, the HMO company back in Connecticut those days, okay? They hired me without American experience, okay? they hired me without even proper English, frankly, because I was in the country for a couple of years raising my son. So if anything, okay, I am the perfect example that if individual wants or interested in taking a part in developing economy, okay, in part of the industry that's actually thriving at the time, relational databases.
Sure.
You know, okay, so thanks to those who advised me to get into the field. So enough about me, but the example is that in this country, they did hire me, okay, and I did well. I did really well. I loved what I was doing. I was providing good income for my family, and now 20 plus years later, okay, I'm happy to contribute and really not show the way, but kind of saying it's okay. You know, it can happen to you if you kind of move, you know, thinking proactively a little bit. So what's your experience, Terence? Any other exciting, I don't know, examples of those transformations?
Hey, that is what we're talking about. The ability to go outside of what might have been deemed as a normal hiring practice, to go see something that someone saw in you that we can see in other people also. It exists, but we're going to have to change the way we view these things. By and large, it's something that is a challenge. We're up for the challenge, and there are the people that are willing to do exactly the same thing that someone did with you at Oxford. This is what's important. But we've kind of gotten into this mode where we're looking for a particular type of individual. But that's also a lot of where diversity comes in also, and our encouragement to encourage others to get involved in STEM jobs. It seems that we have one type of individual sometimes that we think about who should be in STEM, when it shouldn't be that way. When we have all sorts of individuals through diversity that want to be included, but maybe there's a reason why they feel like they shouldn't be included, right? So we have to get through all of that in order to get to the people that have the skills, that can be taught the skills, that have the ability to excel like you did. And you made a difference, didn't you? You made a difference when you were in your job at Oxford. And there's a lot of other people that want to make the same difference and feel like that they absolutely can. I see coming out of the universities now, out of some of the cyber programs, some incredible skills. And sure, you have Apple and Google and Amazon. They're going to try and swipe up all the good people really quick, right? So we have our own challenges for that also. But maybe the options are, it's not just the universities, like I said. There are different places where we can go to find really, really skilled people that we can teach these STEM jobs to. And that's what I'm excited about, because that's exactly what we've started doing, you know, here. And it's working out pretty good.